Very good. Henrik, could you check that I'm being heard on Zoom and elsewhere? Is that a positive?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay, super good. Welcome everyone to Norway, part of the Nordics. We are on top of the world here in Oslo at Oslo. So this is kind of an ivory tower looking down upon Oslo. Working in informal language learning, we should not be in ivory towers. We should be down in reality with everyone that is trying their best to learn the language. But now we are here at Oslo, and welcome also everyone participating on Zoom. That's the beauty of today, that you can connect from everywhere in the world. Sometimes there's discomfort from working from home. So at least I'm very grateful that we can meet like this in person too, but everyone should feel welcome. Just to tell you a few things about the place we are, Oslo. So it has a history. So Oslo was actually the gift from the Norwegian government to the people of Sweden for what we did to help the Norwegian people during the Second World War, whatever we could do. So this is to commemorate our strong bonds between the Nordic countries. And of course, we also welcome all international non-Nordic participants to the conference, especially on Zoom. I'd like to thank not only the steering group of our project, the members of the steering group. I will not mention you all, but you do a great job in the organization of these conferences and also the other activities we do in the project. I would also thank UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning and Rafat, who is with us here. He's going to make a wrap up of the conference later today. So that's going to be interesting. And of course, we also would like to thank the Nordic Council of Ministers for funding this project. Unfortunately, Anna-Maria Mosekilde, who was making an introductory speech at the last conference in Copenhagen, could not join us today, but she sent her greetings to this conference, and she will definitely look into the sessions and the presentations, because we are actually recording all of the presentations today. And if you haven't seen the presentations from the first conference, if you weren't able to join that conference, you can see and follow all of those presentations at the same time. Okay, so if you, Lawrence, can share this to the Zoom audience as well. I think 1 second, I will help Lawrence with that. Oh, good. Do you see that, Henrik, on Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I made that joke at the last conference, like everyone advises against the hybrid format. Will always be technical problems, so bear with us that we might have some challenges. But we have a very packed agenda with a lot of interesting presentations. What is really important, especially for me, are stories from people, migrants that has actually done this themselves. So we're going to hear some stories from people that have been doing this, not just us that are trying to help them, but the people that are actually doing this. We have interesting studies and results from different studies from Luis Fabricius from Oxford Research, and Mari Jakula also have some research to share. We also have Dr. Cindy Blanco from Duolingo, who's going to make a presentation of the well-known Duolingo app. And there are going to be more presentations from Elke Peters, Joke de Wilde, and Fanny Forsberg Lundberg and Clara Arvidsson during the day. We will have lunch and we will have coffee, which is very important, especially in the Nordics. If you don't have coffee, nothing will actually happen. So we're going to have that. And then in the afternoon, we will have 3 different tracks. Again, it's going to be a hybrid format. So we have, this is the track 3, right? Henry?
Yeah, track 3.
Yeah, track 3 is going to be staying in this room. And then track 2 and track 1 is going to move out into smaller rooms. And also for those that are on Zoom, that is going to connect to the tracks, we're going to share the links to those separate Zoom meetings for the tracks later today. So don't feel sort of nervous that you will not be able to attend those. We will get to that. Okay, so that was an introduction, and of course, just for security reasons, we have emergency exit there, and I guess you can break the glass there if you really need to get out fast. So that's good. There's toilets outside there in the area outside of the conference room. Just to round off. I guess you noticed that there's an error in the slides here. So it says if normal language learning and media for migrants, and several people have approached me and said like, oh, there's an error here. There's an error. Okay, and I think this is just to acknowledge that learning a language is about daring to make errors, okay? So, because practice makes perfect, okay? And I think that those people that don't dare to make mistakes in the language learning, they will not learn the language. So the more mistakes you make, the faster you will acquire, being perfect in language learning. So we can just take that with us during the day. And also, if normal, it doesn't sound so normal. So I hope that informal language learning can also be about thinking outside the box, trying to do things in other ways. In formal language learning, you have to follow certain principles and processes and so on. But in informal language learning, we can do whatever we want, I would say. So let's try to think outside of the box. Okay, so let's start with the first migrant story.